Does the astrological chart of the European Union reveal anything interesting? You bet. The base of the chart, its origins, is in Scorpio. There's a fearsome combination of the militant Mars and the ruthless Pluto in this origins, roots section of the chart, which points to Europe's ugly and intense military past. And it is part of the EU's origin story. It grew out of the post-World War II efforts to prevent another devastating conflict in Europe. And the idea was that if countries, especially historic rivals like France and Germany, became economically interdependent, they'd be less likely to go to war against each other. Moving on. On the opposite side of the chart, we have the EU's public persona, which should be about how it is perceived by the outsiders, by those who are not in close contact with the EU. Here we have Taurus, the sign of wealth, a lazy attitude, and a relaxed way of life filled with pleasures. To add to this, we also have Moon here, which symbolizes the people, and so Europe's focus on democracy and the human rights, but also a certain softness, a caring attitude, very much unlike the origins. Now to the ascendant, the rising sign. It is in Leo, the sign of royalty, aristocracy, and artists. And yes, Europe as a whole has this attitude of, I am so noble, so cultured, can be both endearing and infuriating. Then there's a strict Saturn in Aquarius in the 7th house of partners and opponents. Saturn is about responsibility, but also rules and restrictions. And Aquarius is an intellectual sign, which can come off as cold, which can explain why people do not fall in love with the EU, but they can rely on it. Finally, the language, the voice of the EU. Astrologically, it's defined by the 3rd house, and here we have Venus and Jupiter in Libra, a charming combo. Libra is diplomatic, Venus brings grace, Jupiter adds optimism and big ideas. This is the EU's love of elegant declarations that aim to please everyone and offend no one, can come across as overly polished, politically correct to the point of sounding disingenuous. Still, a beautiful placement. At its best, it gives the EU its commitment to peaceful dialogue, fair process, and neighborly cooperation, which is not bad for a continent with Scorpio roots. Well, that was a quick dive into what the EU natal chart reveals. If you want me to talk more about the astrology of the EU or other countries or transnational organizations, let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for the other world events and politics astrological videos.